Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about something that might sound familiar to many of you. It's 3 a.m. The house is quiet, and you are wide awake. Again. If you're over 60, this frustrating pattern of waking up in the middle of the night might feel like an unwelcome new normal. You stare at the ceiling, count sheep, and wonder why your body just won't stay asleep. Well, what if I told you this isn't just a random annoyance? It could actually be your body trying to send you a very important message. So, let's explore what's really going on when you wake up at 3 a.m. One of the biggest reasons for these nightly wake-up calls is linked to natural changes in our sleep architecture as we age. As we get older, we tend to spend less time in deep restorative sleep and more time in lighter sleep stages. This makes us more susceptible to being woken up by small disturbances, whether it's a slight noise, a change in temperature, or even just a full bladder. Our internal body clock, or circadian rhythm, can also shift, leading to an earlier sleep-wake cycle. So your body might simply think it's time to get up, even if your mind knows it's the middle of the night. Another major factor is our lifestyle and daily habits. What you do during the day has a huge impact on how you sleep at night. For instance, that late afternoon cup of coffee or even a glass of wine with dinner can disrupt your sleep cycle. While alcohol might make you feel drowsy initially, it actually fragments sleep later in the night, often leading to, you guessed it, a 3 a.m. awakening. Screen time is another culprit. The blue light from your phone, tablet, or TV can suppress the production of melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Let's also consider what's happening internally. Underlying health conditions can play a significant role. Things like sleep apnea, where breathing repeatedly stops and starts, can jolt you awake. Restless legs syndrome, characterized by an irresistible urge to move your legs, can also make continuous sleep impossible. Even blood sugar fluctuations can be a cause. If your blood sugar drops too low overnight, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to raise it, which can wake you up with a start. It's your body's alarm system, but it's going off at the wrong time. Let's get right into the science of it, but don't worry, I'll keep it simple. One of the biggest culprits behind these 3 a.m. wake-up calls is a change in our natural sleep patterns as we age. Think back to when you were younger. You could probably sleep through a thunderstorm. But as we get older, our internal body clock, also known as our circadian rhythm, starts to shift. A key player in this rhythm is a hormone called melatonin. You've probably heard of it. It's often called the sleep hormone. Melatonin is what tells your body it's time to wind down and go to sleep. It helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle, ensuring you get that deep restorative rest you need. Here's the catch. As we move past our 60s, our bodies naturally start to produce less melatonin. It's just a fact of getting older. With lower levels of this crucial hormone, our signal to stay asleep isn't as strong as it used to be. This means it becomes much harder to fall into those deep stages of sleep, and more importantly, to stay there. Instead of long, uninterrupted cycles of deep rest, our sleep can become lighter and more fragmented. We might spend more time in the lighter stages of sleep, which makes us much more susceptible to waking up from even the slightest noise or discomfort. So when you find yourself awake at 3 a.m., it's often because your body has completed a couple of these shorter, lighter sleep cycles and, without enough melatonin to guide you back into the next one, your brain just decides, well, I guess we're up now. It's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's your body's chemistry changing over time. So, what does this actually feel like? It means that instead of a solid block of 8 hours, your sleep might be broken into several smaller pieces. You might fall asleep easily at 10 p.m., but then you're awake at 1 a.m., then again at 3 a.m., and maybe one more time before your alarm is even set to go off. Each time you wake up, it can be a struggle to fall back asleep because your body isn't producing that strong sleep-inducing signal it once did. This pattern of shorter, lighter sleep phases is a hallmark of sleep changes in older adults. It's the very reason why the middle of the night can feel like the middle of the day for your brain. This natural shift explains why you might feel like you're not getting good quality sleep, even if you're in bed for a full 8 hours. The restorative part of sleep happens in the deep stages, and if you're not spending enough time there, you'll wake up feeling like you barely slept at all. Understanding this is so important because it helps remove the anxiety and frustration that often comes with waking up early. It's not a personal failure, It's biology. Knowing that your body is simply producing less melatonin can empower you to look for the right solutions, which we'll definitely cover in future videos. Simple lifestyle adjustments can make a huge difference in supporting your body's natural rhythm, even as it changes. Things like creating a relaxing bedtime routine, ensuring your bedroom is dark and cool, and avoiding screens before bed can all help signal to your body that it's time for rest. But the first and most crucial step is recognizing what's happening. These early awakenings aren't just random. They are a direct result of the beautiful natural process of aging. As we age, our bodies go through a lot of changes, and our bladder is no exception. A frequent reason for waking up in the middle of the night is a condition called nocturia. That's the medical term for needing to urinate frequently during the night. It might start with one trip to the bathroom, but over time you might notice it becomes a regular occurrence, often happening around the same time, like that infamous 3 a.m. slot. So, what's going on here? Several factors contribute to this. First, as we get older, our bodies produce less of a hormone that helps concentrate urine and reduce its production at night. This means your bladder fills up more quickly than it used to. Additionally, the bladder muscle itself can change. It may become less elastic, reducing its capacity to hold urine, or it might become overactive, sending signals to your brain that it's full even when it isn't. Think of your bladder like a balloon. When you're younger, it's a brand new stretchy balloon that can hold a lot. As the years go by, that balloon becomes a bit less flexible. It can't expand as much, so it feels full sooner. This is a natural part of the aging process for many people. It's not something to be embarrassed about. It's just biology at work. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that makes sense, but what can I do about it? The good news is there are several simple lifestyle adjustments you can make that can have a big impact. One of the easiest things to try is managing your fluid intake, especially in the evening. Try to drink most of your water and other beverages earlier in the day, and reduce how much you drink in the 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. This doesn't mean you should dehydrate yourself. Staying hydrated is crucial for your overall health. It's more about timing. Have your last big glass of water with dinner, and then maybe just small sips if you're thirsty before bed. Also, pay attention to what you're drinking. Caffeine and alcohol are both diuretics, which means they make you need to urinate more often. Limiting coffee, tea, certain sodas, and alcoholic drinks, particularly in the evening, can make a significant difference in how many times you wake up. Another helpful tip is to make sure you fully empty your bladder right before you turn in for the night. Sometimes we're in a hurry and don't take the extra few seconds to make sure we're completely done. Try a technique called double voiding. After you urinate, wait about 30 seconds and then try to go again. You might be surprised that there was a little more left. Elevating your legs for an hour or so before bed can also help. This allows fluid that has collected in your legs during the day to be reabsorbed into your bloodstream and then processed by your kidneys before you go to sleep. However, it's really important to know when these simple fixes aren't enough. While nocturia is common, if it's happening frequently, say more than 2 or 3 times every night, and it's seriously disrupting your sleep and quality of life, it could be a sign of something more. Persistent nocturia can sometimes be an early indicator of underlying health conditions. For example, it can be linked to diabetes, as high blood sugar levels can make you feel thirsty and cause you to urinate more. In men, an enlarged prostate is a very common cause. The prostate gland surrounds the urethra, the tube that carries urine out of the body. When it gets bigger, it can squeeze the urethra and make it difficult to empty the bladder completely, leading to more frequent trips to the bathroom. For both men and women, it could also signal issues with your kidneys or even certain heart conditions. So, if you've tried cutting back on evening fluids and it's not helping, or if the problem seems to be getting worse, it's time to have a chat with your doctor. They can help figure out the root cause. A simple conversation about your symptoms can lead to tests that can rule out or identify any underlying issues. Don't just dismiss it as a normal part of getting old. Your sleep is incredibly important for your physical and mental health, and you deserve to get a good night's rest. A proper diagnosis can lead to effective treatments, whether that's medication, specific exercises, or other therapies that can help you sleep through the night again. Let's start by talking about the ladies. After menopause, a woman's body goes through significant hormonal shifts. The 2 key players here are estrogen and progesterone. Estrogen plays a vital role in regulating your body temperature and metabolism. When its levels drop, you might experience those infamous hot flashes or night sweats. Imagine being fast asleep, and suddenly you feel like a furnace has been turned on. It's no wonder this can jolt you awake in the middle of the night. You kick off the covers, try to cool down, and by the time you're comfortable again, sleep is a distant memory. But estrogen isn't the only hormone at play. Progesterone is often called the calming hormone. It has sleep-inducing or soporific effects. It helps you relax and stay asleep. So, when progesterone levels decline after menopause, you lose some of that natural sedative effect. Your sleep can become lighter and more easily disturbed. A car door slamming outside, the house creaking, or even your partner shifting in bed can be enough to pull you out of sleep. It's not that you're suddenly a light sleeper for no reason. It's a direct result of these hormonal changes making your sleep architecture more fragile. Now, gentlemen, you're not off the hook. While the hormonal changes in men are generally more gradual than in women, they are just as real and can be equally disruptive to your sleep. The primary hormone we're talking about here is testosterone. Starting around age 30, testosterone levels begin to decline slowly, by about 1% per year. By the time you're over 60, this decline can become quite significant. So, how does lower testosterone affect your sleep? Well, it's linked to several issues. First, lower testosterone can contribute to a decrease in deep sleep, which is the most restorative stage. This means even if you're sleeping for 7 or 8 hours, the quality of that sleep isn't what it used to be. You wake up feeling like you haven't slept at all. Furthermore, this hormonal shift is often associated with conditions like sleep apnea, where your breathing repeatedly stops and starts. This, of course, will wake you up, often gasping for air throughout the night. You might not even be fully aware it's happening, but your body is, and it's being deprived of the consistent deep sleep it needs. For both men and women, these hormonal shifts create a perfect storm for fragmented sleep. Your internal sleep-wake cycle, or circadian rhythm, can get thrown off kilter. Your body is no longer getting the same clear hormonal signals to stay asleep through the night. This is why 3 a.m., often a time when our sleep is naturally at its lightest point in the cycle, becomes the witching hour. The slightest disturbance, whether internal like a hot flash or external like a noise, is enough to wake you up. And once you're awake, the racing thoughts can begin, making it incredibly difficult to fall back asleep. It's important to remember that this is a normal, albeit frustrating part of the aging process. It's not something you're doing wrong, but the good news is that understanding the why empowers you to find solutions. We'll be covering those solutions in our upcoming videos, from lifestyle adjustments to potential therapies. You see, sometimes waking up in the dead of night isn't about needing to use the restroom or aches and pains. It can be your mind's way of telling you that it's carrying a heavy load. Stress, anxiety, and even feelings of loneliness can cause your brain to go into overdrive, right when your body is trying to rest. Think about it. During the day, we're often busy. We have routines, tasks, and distractions that keep our minds occupied. But when the house is quiet and the lights are out, that's when the walls come down. Your body finally relaxes, but your mind decides it's time to run a marathon. It starts replaying conversations, worrying about the future, or dwelling on past regrets. This mental churn isn't just thoughts. It can actually trigger a physical response. Your brain can release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, the same fight or flight chemicals that would wake you up if you heard a strange noise. This hormonal surge is like an internal alarm clock pulling you right out of a deep sleep. For many seniors, life brings significant transitions that can fuel this nighttime anxiety. Retirement, for instance. It sounds wonderful, but it can also mean a loss of identity, structure, and social connection. Suddenly, the days are less defined, and you might feel a bit adrift. This uncertainty can easily creep into your subconscious and surface at 3 a.m. Then there's the profound impact of loss. As we get older, it's inevitable that we say goodbye to loved ones, a spouse, friends, or family members. Grief is a powerful, long-lasting emotion that doesn't operate on a 9-to-5 schedule. The quiet hours of the night can amplify feelings of loneliness and sadness, making sleep feel impossible. Your mind might be grappling with these emotions, trying to process them while the rest of the world sleeps. Isolation is another major factor. Maybe your children have moved away, or your social circle has become smaller. This can lead to a sense of being disconnected. Even if you have people around you, you might feel like you can't share your deepest worries, not wanting to be a burden. This bottling up of emotions creates internal pressure that has to be released somewhere, and often, it's in the middle of the night. Your brain is essentially shouting for attention because it hasn't had a chance to be heard during the day. So, what can we do about it? The first step is acknowledging that what you're experiencing is real and valid. It's not just in your head. It's a genuine emotional response affecting your physical well-being. Recognizing that stress or sadness might be the culprit is a huge part of the solution. One powerful technique is to create a worry time during the day. Set aside 15 to 20 minutes in the late afternoon to sit down and actively think about or write down whatever is on your mind. By giving your worries a designated time slot, you train your brain not to bring them up at 3 a.m. When a worry pops into your head at night, you can gently tell yourself, "I'll think about that tomorrow during my worry time." Developing a calming pre-sleep routine is also crucial. This isn't just about turning off the TV, it's about signaling to your mind that it's time to wind down. Try gentle stretching, listening to calming music, or practicing deep breathing exercises. Meditation apps can also be incredibly helpful in guiding you into a state of relaxation. The goal is to soothe your nervous system before you even get into bed. If you do wake up, try not to panic or get frustrated with yourself. That only adds more stress. Instead, get out of bed for a little while. Go to another room and do something quiet and relaxing, like reading a book under dim light. No screens. When you start to feel sleepy again, head back to bed. This helps break the association between your bed and the feeling of being awake and anxious. And most importantly, please don't hesitate to reach out for support. Talking to a friend, family member, or a professional counselor can make a world of difference. Sharing your feelings can lift a tremendous weight and help you see that you're not alone in these struggles. Sometimes, just a single conversation can provide the comfort and reassurance you need to rest peacefully. Remember, taking care of your emotional health is just as important as taking care of your physical health. Think about your bedroom. Is it a true sanctuary for sleep, or is it filled with subtle interruptions you've just gotten used to? That gentle hum from your refrigerator in the next room, the faint ticking of an old clock, or even the glow from your alarm clock's display can be enough to pull you out of a deep sleep. As we age, our sleep cycles naturally become lighter and more fragmented. This means we're more easily roused by these minor disturbances. What your younger self could sleep right through might now be the very thing that's waking you up in the middle of the night. Let's talk about light. Our sensitivity to light increases significantly as we get older. A street lamp outside your window, a car's headlights sweeping across the room, or even the standby light on your television can send a signal to your brain that it's time to wake up. This is because light exposure, no matter how minimal, can suppress the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. When melatonin levels dip, your body gets the message that morning is approaching, even if it's only 3 a.m. So, how do we combat this? The first step is to create a pitch-dark environment. Investing in a good pair of blackout curtains is one of the best things you can do for your sleep. These curtains are designed to block out nearly all external light, creating a cave-like atmosphere that promotes deeper, more restorative sleep. If curtains aren't an option, a comfortable sleep mask can work wonders. Just make sure it's one that doesn't put too much pressure on your eyes. Also, take a moment to scan your room for any electronic devices with lights and either cover them with a small piece of tape or unplug them before you go to bed. Now let's move on to sound. That pin-drop silence you think you need might actually be working against you. When a room is too quiet, any sudden small noise, a floorboard creaking, the house settling, a distant siren, can seem incredibly loud and jarring, yanking you right out of your sleep. This is where the concept of white noise or pink noise comes in. A consistent, gentle sound can help mask those sudden disruptive noises. You don't need anything fancy. A simple fan running on a low setting can be very effective. Alternatively, a white noise machine or even a smartphone app can provide a steady stream of soothing sounds, like falling rain or gentle waves, which can help lull you back to sleep if you do wake up. Finally, let's address temperature. Our body's ability to regulate its internal temperature becomes less efficient with age. You might find yourself waking up because you're either too hot or too cold. The ideal room temperature for sleep is generally on the cooler side, typically between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, or 15 to 19 degrees Celsius. A cooler room helps signal to your body that it's time to sleep. Pay attention to your bedding as well. Natural, breathable fabrics like cotton or bamboo are great choices because they help regulate your body temperature, wicking away moisture if you get too warm. You might also find that layering your blankets allows you to easily adjust for comfort throughout the night without having to get out of bed. Creating the perfect sleep environment is a process of trial and error, but by making these small, intentional changes, making your room darker, quieter, and cooler, you can significantly reduce those 3 a.m. wake-up calls. You're essentially giving your body the clear, uninterrupted signals it needs to stay asleep. One common issue is heartburn, or acid reflux. As we age, the muscle that keeps stomach acid where it belongs can weaken. When you lie down, it's easier for acid to travel up into your esophagus, causing that burning sensation that can jolt you awake. You might not even feel the classic burn. Sometimes it just presents as a persistent cough or a sour taste in your mouth. If this sounds familiar, try elevating the head of your bed and avoid eating large meals close to bedtime. Next up is chronic pain, particularly from conditions like arthritis. The inflammation and stiffness don't just disappear when you go to bed. In fact, lying still for long periods can sometimes make joint pain worse. You might shift positions trying to get comfortable and unknowingly wake yourself up. The pain might be a dull ache that you've gotten used to during the day, but at night, with fewer distractions, it can become a major sleep disruptor. Then there's sleep apnea, a condition that's more serious than just loud snoring. With sleep apnea, your breathing repeatedly stops and starts throughout the night. Your body then has to wake you up briefly to get you breathing again. Most of the time, you won't even remember these awakenings, but you'll definitely feel the effects the next day. Exhaustion, morning headaches, and difficulty concentrating. It's particularly common in older adults and can have significant health consequences if left untreated. Another sneaky sleep thief is restless leg syndrome, or RLS. This gives you an almost irresistible urge to move your legs, often accompanied by uncomfortable sensations like tingling, crawling, or pulling. These symptoms typically flare up in the evening and at night when you're at rest, making it incredibly difficult to fall asleep and stay asleep. It's a neurological condition, and while its exact cause isn't always clear, it's more prevalent as we get older. So, what does all this mean for you? If you're consistently waking up in the middle of the night feeling tired, achy, out of breath, or just plain unrested, don't just write it off as a normal part of aging. Your body might be trying to tell you something. These medical conditions are treatable. A conversation with your healthcare provider is the first and most important step. They can help diagnose the underlying issue, whether it's reflux, arthritis pain, sleep apnea, or RLS. Getting to the root cause is key. For heartburn, medication or simple lifestyle changes can make a world of difference. For arthritis, your doctor might suggest different pain management strategies tailored for nighttime relief. If sleep apnea is suspected, a sleep study can confirm it, and treatments like a CPAP machine can be life-changing, restoring not just your sleep, but your overall health. For RLS, there are medications and therapies that can help manage the symptoms. Remember, quality sleep is not a luxury. It's a fundamental pillar of good health, especially as we age. It impacts everything from your mood and memory to your immune system and heart health. Don't resign yourself to sleepless nights. Take your symptoms seriously and seek professional advice. Addressing the medical reason behind your 3 a.m. wake-up calls can help you reclaim the restorative, uninterrupted sleep you deserve. It's a bit of an irony, isn't it? Many prescriptions that are common among older adults, things for managing blood pressure, treating depression, or easing chronic pain, can have side effects that directly interfere with your sleep cycle. It's a complex issue because these medications work in different ways to affect your rest. Let's break down some of the common mechanisms. For instance, certain types of blood pressure medications, specifically beta blockers, are known to decrease the body's nighttime production of melatonin. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone, because it signals to your body that it's time to wind down and rest. When melatonin levels are suppressed, your internal clock can get thrown off, making it much harder to stay asleep through the night. You might fall asleep just fine, but then find yourself staring at the ceiling in the early hours of the morning when your melatonin should be at its peak. Then there are diuretics, often referred to as water pills, which are also frequently prescribed for high blood pressure or heart conditions. Their job is to help your body get rid of excess salt and water, which means they increase urination. If you take your dose too late in the day, you can pretty much guarantee that your bladder will be waking you up 1, 2, or even 3 times a night. Each time you get up, you interrupt your deep sleep cycle, making it difficult to feel truly rested the next day. What about medications for mood, like antidepressants? Many of them, especially SSRIs, can have a significant impact on your sleep. They work by altering the levels of neurotransmitters like serotonin in your brain. While this is great for improving your mood, it can also disrupt the delicate balance of chemicals that regulate your sleep-wake cycle. Some people find these medications make them feel more alert or activated, which is the last thing you want when you're trying to sleep. This can lead to insomnia, more frequent awakenings, and a reduction in REM sleep, which is crucial for memory and emotional processing. Pain medications are another big category to consider. While they are designed to relieve discomfort so you can rest, some can have the opposite effect. For example, some prescription painkillers can interfere with the deeper stages of sleep. Even over-the-counter options containing caffeine, like some migraine formulas, can obviously keep you awake if taken too close to bedtime. It becomes a vicious cycle. Pain disrupts sleep, and poor sleep makes you more sensitive to pain. So, what can you do if you suspect your medication is the reason you're waking up at 3 a.m.? The single most important rule is this: never, ever stop or change your medication on your own. Abruptly stopping certain prescriptions can have serious health consequences. Your first and most crucial step is to have an open conversation with your doctor or pharmacist. When you go to your appointment, be prepared. It helps to keep a simple sleep diary for a week or 2 beforehand. Note what time you go to bed, when you wake up during the night, and what time you finally get up in the morning. Also, list all the medications you're taking, including the dosages and the time of day you take them. This information will be incredibly valuable for your doctor. During your discussion, you can explore several potential solutions. Your doctor might be able to adjust the timing of your medication. For example, taking a diuretic in the morning instead of the evening can prevent those nighttime trips to the bathroom. For other drugs, they might suggest taking them earlier in the day if they have a stimulating effect. Another possibility is switching to a different medication altogether. For many conditions, there are multiple classes of drugs available. Your doctor might know of an alternative that provides the same therapeutic benefit but is less likely to interfere with your sleep. It might take a little trial and error, but finding the right fit is well worth the effort. In some cases, a dosage adjustment might be all that's needed. A lower dose might still be effective for your condition while minimizing the disruptive side effects on your sleep. It's all about finding that perfect balance for your individual needs. Your doctor is your best partner in figuring this out. By working with your healthcare provider, you can investigate whether your prescriptions are part of the problem and find a solution that allows you to get the treatment you need and the restorative sleep you deserve. Don't resign yourself to sleepless nights. Be proactive, have that conversation, and take back your rest. Now, it's important to say that this isn't a replacement for advice from your doctor, but it offers a unique and holistic way of looking at our bodies. In TCM, there's something called the organ clock. It's a concept that suggests each of our internal organs has a 2-hour window of peak energy and activity over a 24-hour cycle. Think of it like a schedule for your body's maintenance crew. So what's happening between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m.? According to this ancient clock, this is the time of the liver. The liver, in TCM, is a powerhouse. It's responsible for the smooth flow of qi, or life energy, throughout the entire body. But its job isn't just physical. It's also deeply connected to our emotions. Specifically, the liver is said to process and regulate emotions like anger, frustration, resentment, and irritability. When you consistently wake up during the liver's shift between 1 and 3 a.m., TCM practitioners might suggest that your liver energy is either stagnant or overactive. This could be a sign that you're dealing with unresolved frustration or stress. It's as if your body is trying to process these difficult emotions while you're supposed to be resting, and the effort is so great that it wakes you up. Imagine your liver as a manager in a busy office. If the day has been filled with unresolved conflicts and frustrations, the manager can't just go home and switch off. They stay late, trying to sort through the mess. That's what TCM suggests your liver is doing at 3 a.m. It's trying to clear out the emotional clutter from the previous day, or even from long-held grievances. This doesn't necessarily mean you're an angry person. It could simply be that you're internalizing stress or holding on to worries without a proper outlet. For those over 60, this can be particularly relevant. You might be dealing with the stresses of retirement, changes in your physical abilities, concerns about family, or simply reflecting on life experiences. All these things can contribute to this kind of emotional buildup. So, what can we do about it? If we follow this line of thought, the key is to support your liver and help it manage these emotions more effectively. One of the simplest ways to do this is through gentle evening practices. Before bed, try some light stretching or deep breathing exercises. These can help calm your nervous system and promote the smooth flow of qi. Journaling is another powerful tool. Spend just 5 or 10 minutes writing down anything that's bothering you. Getting your worries out of your head and onto paper can be incredibly freeing. It's like debriefing your liver manager before the night shift begins, so they don't have as much to sort through later. Also, consider what you're consuming in the evening. In TCM, it's advised to avoid heavy meals, alcohol, and caffeine late at night, as these can put extra strain on the liver's detoxification duties, leaving it with less capacity to handle emotional processing. Instead, a warm cup of caffeine-free herbal tea, like chamomile or peppermint, can be very soothing. While the organ clock is a concept from traditional philosophy and not modern science, its core message is profoundly wise. Our emotional health and physical health are inseparable. Whether you believe in qi or not, recognizing that unresolved stress can disrupt your sleep is a universal truth. Waking at 3 a.m. might just be your body's way of sending you a message, asking you to pay a little more attention to your emotional well-being. So next time you find your eyes open in the middle of the night, instead of getting frustrated, try to listen. Ask yourself what might be weighing on your mind. Acknowledging these feelings is the first step toward finding peace, both emotionally and during the night. Another major player is hormonal changes. For women, the lingering effects of menopause can disrupt sleep for years. Hot flashes, while less frequent, can still occur and jolt you awake. For men, declining testosterone levels can contribute to sleep issues, including sleep apnea, a condition where breathing repeatedly stops and starts. It's often subtle, but these brief interruptions are enough to pull you out of deep sleep, even if you don't fully wake up. You just feel tired the next day. Of course, we can't ignore underlying health conditions that become more common after 60. Things like arthritis pain, frequent urination due to an enlarged prostate or bladder issues, and even gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, can all be culprits. Your body might be trying to tell you something. If you're waking up in discomfort or needing to use the restroom multiple times, it's a clear signal to check in with your doctor. These issues are often treatable, and addressing them can lead to a huge improvement in your sleep quality. Now let's consider lifestyle factors, because they have a huge impact. What did you do before bed? A late heavy meal can cause indigestion that wakes you up. That evening, glass of wine might help you doze off, but as your body processes the alcohol, it can disrupt your sleep cycle later in the night, leading to fragmented sleep. Even seemingly harmless screen time from your phone or TV can suppress melatonin production, making it harder to stay asleep. Your pre-sleep routine is incredibly important. Finally, stress and anxiety are silent sleep thieves. As we get older, we might have more worries, health concerns, financial pressures, or family matters. When you wake up in the quiet of the night, your mind can start racing, making it impossible to fall back asleep. This creates a vicious cycle. You worry about not sleeping, which causes more stress, which makes it even harder to sleep. It's a tough pattern to break. So, in the end, waking up at 3 a.m. after 60 isn't just a random event. It's your body's way of communicating. Whether it's due to hormones, health issues, stress, or lifestyle factors, There's almost always a reason behind those sleepless nights. The good news is that by understanding the cause, you can take steps to fix it. With healthy habits like a consistent sleep schedule, creating a calming bedtime routine, think reading a book instead of scrolling, and seeking medical support if needed, you can reclaim peaceful, uninterrupted sleep. You deserve to wake up refreshed and ready to enjoy each new day to its fullest. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more content to help you live your best life after 60. We'd love to have you in our community. Sleep well, and see you in the next video.